Hello everyone, Brandy here. I have got some fun cards for you, an easy layout, and we're gonna get our scraps on. That's right, so I've got some cardstock scraps that I have saved. I've been preparing for my team craft day. And as I'm cutting all of the designer paper and cardstock, I get so much scraps. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put together a really simple, fun layout and try to use up a bunch of those scraps. So I'm excited to show you that card today and maybe show you another layout as well. So here, check out this card. So we're going to do this fun layout. It's super easy and super cute. And then we're going to go ahead and switch our layout. And we're going to go the other way. That's right. So we're going to take it down, to a vertical layout. So I'm really excited to show you exactly how I did this and how easy it is. Because I know you have some scraps at home too. So what do you need? So today we're going to talk a little bit about the adhesive sheets. I'm really excited about the adhesive sheets. I have a beginner series, and so if you haven't seen my beginner series and you're interested, make sure you go to brandyscards.com/beginners and you can register or subscribe. And then you'll start to receive my emails so you know when the next video is coming out. But just recently I did a video on adhesives. That's right, so we talk about everything from liquid glue to stamp and seal to foam sheets, adhesive sheets. We talked about it all. So if you're interested, make sure you go back and have a look at that. But today I'm going to show you, we're going to get into the adhesive sheets. I'm going to show you exactly how I used it on today's card. So here's what it looks like. So these are the adhesive sheets. And this is the die set we're going to use. So I'm going to show you this die set in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. So this is our current Stampin' Up! Catalog. This catalog is actually good through June 30th of 2022. So pretty exciting. We still have a while yet on this one. And so this die set that I'm using is called Amazing Thanks. And I believe it is back here. Oh, I just had it. Now, where did that go? So here, let me find it. And so there's actually a stamp set that Stampin' Up! Is featuring with it. But I'm just going to use the dies today. So there's really no stamping, which I think is super, super cool. We're just going to use the dies and, no stamping. But of course, if you want to, you can certainly stamp a sentiment if you would like. Oh my gosh, are you guys seeing this amazing magazine? Or I should say catalog. That's one thing as I'm kind of flipping through here. That's what I love about our Stampin' Up! Catalogs is there's so many ideas and so much inspiration in here. It is amazing. So it looks like I'm going to use these dies right here. And so those dies are on page 40. I apologize. I thought I had that number written down and I didn't. So there we go. So here is the stamp set. I'm not using that today. You can buy the dies individually. And so that's what we're going to use today. There's thanks, amazing, and then there's the word you and the word are. Now, one of the nice things about this die set is if you use those the adhesive sheets, it makes it really, really easy to put these together. I promise you. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So here is the dies. And we're going to just stick with thanks today because I feel like it's fairly simple and it looked really nice on the card. I also have an adhesive sheet here that was already opened earlier, and I have a piece of basic white cardstock. So what I'm going to do is the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out, okay, when you look at the card, let me show you the card. You need to decide, okay, what color do I want on the bottom? And which color do I want on the top? And in this case, I have basic black on the bottom, and then I have my basic white on the top. So with that said, I'm going to take my dies, and this die right here is going to be the basic black die, and I've already die cut this one for you, all right? This one is the one that I need to adhere to the top. So this is how we're gonna do that. First, you gotta measure it and make sure, okay, yes, that is the right size. You're going to need some snips or some paper snips, some scissors, and I am just going to cut this to size. That's right, so I'm just going to cut it to size and save my adhesive sheet, what's left of that. So perfect. Now what you're going to do is this has two different, it's like tacky or sticky on both sides, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one piece off, just like that. So this is very sticky. That's my adhesive. And I am going to just set that right on top. And actually, now that I think about it, it might even be better, you know, to put one of our little, I'm going to actually grab it just in case, put one of our adhesive sheets down, because you don't want to get that adhesive, silicone sheets, you don't want to get that adhesive on your surface, right? In the event that you didn't cut it perfectly or set it down perfectly. All right, so now there's some contact paper here on the top. I've got my basic white cardstock, and I'm good to go. I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss today. Super excited. I love this guy. He is so handy and so nice when I'm just kind of doing some small dies and crafting at my station. And so I have the plate 1, I have an acrylic plate 2, and now what I have is I have my adhesive sheet here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my die, this is my detailed thanks, put it right on top, just like that. Okay, so it's right there on the top. And then I'm going to put this in another acrylic plate, put it into my cut and emboss, and I'm going to run it through. That's right, we're just going to kind of crank it through. If you wanted to, you could crank it back through the other side. It's entirely up to you. Now, what you got to remember is you want to make sure that you put your die down, you know, you put your die on the paper the right way, because had I flipped this over and put it this direction, well then my thanks would have been backwards with the adhesive. So I have my cardstock facing up, and then I added my die, okay, so that the adhesive is on the bottom. So just keep that in mind. It does matter when you're using these adhesive sheets and you're using a word like that. Now I have my take your pick tool, and it's really pretty cool. These little holes that Stampin' Up! Has in the dies, that's so that you can kind of push out some of these, you know, some of these die cuts that you've done. It just makes it easier, and then you'll see it just pops right out beautifully. So there you go, we have our thanks. That was pretty easy, right? So let's go ahead and bring in our thanks. And again, the cool thing is these adhesive sheets make it super easy. Look at that. And so this is sticky. Yeah, it's super sticky. And so as you can see, our A isn't punched out, but generally with these die cuts, it does come out when you pull it. Yeah, I can see it there. There we go. Perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and, yowzers, it's you know, they're great for like these delicate type things. So what you're going to do is you're going to center it inside the thanks, right? And so I'm just going to kind of keep working my way through very carefully and gingerly. Remember, there's adhesive on the back of this, so I just don't want to just set it down, because then it could be crooked, and I don't want it to be crooked. And so there we go. Perfect. Awesome. Now, if you don't have adhesive sheets, that's okay. Use some liquid adhesive. It might just take you a little bit longer, but you can totally do it, I promise. All right, so right now we have Sale-a-bration going on. And Sale-a-bration goes to the end of February. That's right. So I think we have like maybe a couple more days as I'm filming this video. And so if you haven't placed your Stampin' Up! Order, make sure you do so that you can earn some of those Sale-a-bration items. So today I'm going to be using the Friendly Hello Sale-a-bration cardstock or designer series paper. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's my most favorite item inside that catalog. And so just a quick, you know, to let you know, if you're not familiar with Sale-a-bration, it is just a wonderful promotion that Stampin' Up! Offers. For every $50 you spend, you get a Sale-a-bration item an exclusive item out of our catalog, the Sale-a-bration catalog. And then of course, if you, you know, as you earn credits, then you can pick items that are worth maybe 2 Sale-a-bration credits or a $100 purchase. And so it's just a really neat promotion to get some extra fantastic crafting goodies. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know. I'd love the opportunity to help you and to earn your business. And of course, I can send you catalogs right away. So let me know. And of course, if you're a beginner and you don't have a demonstrator and you would like to ask me some questions or view the beginner series, make sure you go to brandyscards.com/beginners and subscribe there. And of course, let me know up in the contact on my blog. You can contact me. Send me an email. Let me know what you're thinking or what you might need help with or what project you're working on so I can help you through that too. All right? So this is that designer paper that I am just in love with, that I keep raving about. It is absolutely gorgeous. I hope that you're enjoying it too. For those of you that have earned this or qualified for it as a gift, just beautiful. I love these little birds and these flowers. Check out that side. Oh, it's just stunning. So out of this paper, I have chosen these 4 patterns. And like I said, I have a whole thing here that has scraps in it. And so I just took out the biggest pieces so that I could show you that design. So let's bring in the cardstock and the scraps that I have. And all of the sizes and the dimensions will be on brandyscards.com. So you will be able to find all of that there. And of course, if you have any problems or you can't find it, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to send you a link directly to this video and to the sizes and the dimensions of this card. All right, so basically this is just one piece of basic white cardstock. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my liquid adhesive, and I have cut this so that all I have to do is just add my strips. That's right, so I'm just gonna glue my strips down. Really easy. Whoop, and that's what I like about liquid adhesive. Did you see that? I had a bit of wiggle room in there. So I kind of wiggled that guy into place. And then here's my green designer paper, or I should say design pattern. All right, so I'm just kind of putting that in place. Now, if you aren't comfortable just gluing it as I'm doing that, you might just put yours in place and go, okay, I can see my spacing, and just, just put it in place so you can see what your spacing is. Now, I just made a bunch of these cards for my customers, and I had so much fun doing it, so I feel like I'm a pro. I do. I feel like I'm a pro because I have made a lot of them because I just thought it was such a stunning card, and just really, really neat, because you can use any designer series paper that you have. You don't have to use what I'm using. So there you go. So we have we have that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, flip this guy over, and we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals here to the back. And then after we do that, we're going to adhere our thanks. Yep. Now remember, that thanks that I just did, you can do it with different, colors, and like light, like a light color in the back or a dark color. So play with that and have fun with that, because you can totally switch that up. All right, so here is a basic white piece of cardstock, and I am going to adhere my designer series paper right to the front. That's it, just like that. Then I'm going to take my liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to put that right here behind my thanks. Now, I could certainly run this through just like I did before when I originally die cut this black, but I found that it's actually not too bad. It's pretty easy to just put a little bit of adhesive behind it. I also kind of like the wiggle room, so I can kind of decide exactly where I want it to fall. So there I have my thanks, and then I have my classic matte dots. And I am going to use my Take Your Pick tool. The cool thing about this tool, I think every crafter needs to have one, is that you can kind of twist that, and look at that. So now I have kind of a palette shaped. So you could use either the pointed end or the palette shape, but I kind of like this palette shape, when I am adding my gems and my jewels. So I'm just adding a few of these kind of randomly around my card. So that is a super fun, easy card for you to create. And like I said, you can totally do this with all kinds of different designer series papers. So here, let me show you one more. So this one, I'm sure many of you love this You're a Peach designer series paper. It's one of my favorites for sure. I love the blues, I love the peachy tones, and of course the greens. It's just lovely. And I actually grew up next to a peach orchard, so I love this designer paper. So basically what I did is I did the exact same thing like with the other card. And here, let me just show you. I took some of the designer series paper. This piece is the exact same size as what I had on the other card. It's the exact same size. And so then what I did is I just added my strips how I wanted to. And this time, instead of using 4 patterns, I just used 2. Yeah, you can do that. You can do it however you would like. And so I actually finished one earlier, and I tied a white bow around it. So this is just some baker's twine, some white baker's twine. And then I die cut a thanks in white, and I ran this through. This is Calypso Coral, I believe, and I used the adhesive sheets. And so let me just find a spot to kind of get started, and you can kind of see it's sticky. It's sticky in there, okay? And so I would add that to the top. Of course, I would flip this over, add some Stampin' Dimensionals right behind here, and you're gonna center it on top of a basic white card base. And then when you do, you're gonna get this beautiful card. Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. And like I said, I love these blues and the corals and the greens. Now, if you're wondering what gems these are these beautiful blue gems that we have at Stampin' Up. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if you can really see how beautiful they are. I might need to put, there we go, maybe that's better. But they are so pretty. And so that's what I used, is I just added a couple of the blue gems to it to accent this card. So yeah, so that's the other card that I had. And here, let me just put these next to each other so you can see how I changed the orientation. But I got the same type of look. I just changed the orientation and changed the colors for my thanks. Okay, so here's one more that I did. And this one was with the Flowering Fields stamp set, or I should say designer series paper, because there's no stamping here. And I did the exact same thing. This is the same size as the previous 2 cards. The strips are exactly the same, and I did the thanks in black. Now, you could certainly emboss this background if you wanted to, so you could totally, emboss the background. You could even emboss these designer series paper strips. So there's lots that you can do. I go back and forth. Do I want a little something here? Do I not? I really like the simplicity of it, but I don't know. I might try to add something later. And then I added some of my little black matte black dots there to kind of finish that off. Now, before I go, I do want to show you kind of another fun scraps card that I created. And I actually created this card for one of our challenges for the Creative 8 Retreat. Yeah, that's right. So before the Creative 8 Retreat, when you register, we have so much fun. We have 4 weeks of challenges that we share. The idea is just to get your crafting mojo going and get you excited about our special Creative 8 Craft Day, our online crafting day. And so one of the challenges that I shared was a card scrap challenge. And so let me show you this. This was created using the All for Baby stamp set. And look at that. Isn't that fun? And so you're probably wondering, okay, what designer series paper is that? Well, that is the Pansy Patch designer series paper. I believe that's what it's called. Pansy Petals is what it's called. Yeah, and so this is the All for Baby. He's stamped in cinnamon cider, and I think this is Blackberry Bliss, and this would be Bumblebee. Yep, that's what that was. And honestly, I just played to the colors in the designer paper, and I just cut scraps, totally. And so, let me show you. This is with the flowering tulips. So I did the same kind of thing, same type of design, using the flowering tulips. I haven't put a design here in the center yet. That was kind of on purpose because I wanted to show you kind of how I layered these scraps up. And just how I kind of played with the different colors. So I'm not sure what I'm going to put there yet, but when I do, I'll be sure to share it with you. So I hope that you enjoyed these scrappy cards today. It's a lot of fun to make, and you don't always need a bunch of stuff. I mean, here we just made cards with card scraps or designer series paper scraps, basic white cardstock, and then I had a die set that had the word thanks in it, and so we dressed that up and just really made that pop off the card, and then add some of the gems or jewels that you like to your card if you'd like to enhance that. Of course, ribbon or baker's twine, there's so many options out there. But I hope that you enjoyed this, and be sure to go over to brandyscards.com, because that's where you will find the sizes and the dimensions, right? So those will be there for you. And of course, if you don't have a demonstrator and you need a catalog, let me know. And if you're already one of my customers, I'm so grateful for you, and I appreciate you so much, and I hope that you are enjoying your goodies. And don't forget to reach out if you have questions. Always there to help, all right? Thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye, everybody.